2024 was a year of learning, self-discovery, and experiencing lessons, while 2025 is a year of new beginnings and success. Okay, so on this video, we'll be talking about how to make 2025 your year. But before I get to that important part of the video, let me first introduce myself to my newcomers and say welcome. My name is Olerato, the founder of Dreamers Elevation Network. That's all be teaching you how to use your passion and your skills and help you turn them into a profitable business. So, for my lovely people who are coming with me again on 2025, I say welcome, family. Let us talk about today's topic, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying it while I'm doing this video. Right, so the first thing that you need to understand to make 2025 your year is to find out how far you have come. What I mean by this is, what have you experienced so far? Like since last year, what are the lessons that you have learned? And from the lessons that you have learned, how are they helping you in your life? The other thing about this part is, what is it that you have achieved throughout last year? What did you achieve? Okay, after identifying that, the second part is, where are you now in your journey? Where are you? From where you say you are going to be, how far are you off from that life that you say you want to achieve? Where are you in the now? After identifying where you are in the now, you need to also find out, where are you going? By the end of this year, where do you want to be? By the end of 2025, who do you want to be? Like, who would you have become for you to say that you have succeeded? What is it that you should have achieved for you to say that indeed you have achieved success? Who do you have to be by the end of 2025? What is it that you should have achieved by the end of 2025? You need to write that down so that you can know what you are aiming for, so that you can know where you are going. As much as it is good for you to write the things that you want to achieve, and it's also important that as much as you have a big picture, you need to reduce this big picture to something that is so small that you can be able to manage. Because the big picture might be overwhelming, right? So you need to break all these things that you say you want to have achieved into small things. This is where you find out, what is it that you need to achieve throughout this year for you to be that person that you say you want to be, and to achieve those things that you say you want to have by the end of 2025. What is it that you should be achieving, or that you should have achieved to get that thing that you say you want? After identifying this, these are more like goals, right? Make sure that you write this down. It's very important that as much as you're asking yourself questions like this, it's important for you to write them down so that you can always go back when you're losing your way throughout your journey, because it's inevitable to get lost when you're trying to become something. You get lost along the way, which is not a bad thing, right? So you can eventually go back to that journal that you have, or to what you have written, and just be able to flip through the pages and see the kind of person that you have envisioned for yourself, or the thing that you say you want to achieve for yourself. After identifying those goals, you need to find out, what are those things that you need to do, or those activities that you need to do every single day to achieve those goals that you just listed. The everyday things. There was a video where I talked about, your a person's life is like a puzzle, right? So in a puzzle, for you to complete a puzzle, you need to have a certain picture. Can be a picture of anything, right? By the time you are done with the puzzle. So in this puzzle, you have that small piece that you have to put in every single section where it needs to fit, right? So every single piece is important. It's very small, but it is necessary for you to complete this picture. It means that every single day, those small activities that you be doing on daily basis will eventually lead up to those big results that you want. So it's very important that you know what is it that you need to do every single day to achieve that big picture that you say you have for yourself. So write that down also. As I said, it's important to take that big picture to reduce it to something that is small and reduce it to something that is manageable so that it doesn't get overwhelming. After identifying those things that you need to do every single day, those every single day we are talking about your routine, right? You need to incorporate those things in your routine. Again, if you want to know like the type of routine that I'm talking about, you can use a video that I'm gonna link up in the screen to find out how you can actually do that type of a routine. You can use that video as an inspiration to, create your own routine, a routine that fits your schedule, because our schedules will be different obviously. So you need to use it as an inspiration to do the routine that will fit you, okay? The other thing is that as much as you have set those goals, as much as you have done all these things, it might sound exciting, you might be pumped up, motivated, that you are inspired to start right away, you know, but that may be something that can happen in a moment. You are inspired in that moment. What's going to happen after 30 days when it gets hard for you to actually follow through? Which brings me to my question, which is what are you going to do to make sure that you stay consistent when that motivation subsides? Because, motivation is something that happens for a period of time, but it doesn't last for a long time, which is why you need to have self discipline. So it's very important for you to know what is it that you're going to do in order to have that consistency and achieve that big picture that you say you want to complete that puzzle that you have. What are you going to do? Another thing that I want you to note, or the other point to this, is being consistent is good, but we have to also understand that we are not perfect human beings. We fail sometimes. There'll be times where I would say, okay, on Monday, like I would say, I like to start my routine on a clean slate on a Monday, like the start of the week, okay? So I'd say on Monday, I will start doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until Friday, right? That would be like the routine that I would have. I would be trying to incorporate, okay? So I would say, okay, on Monday, I'm doing this. On Tuesday, this. On Thursday, this. And then I start implementing that. On Wednesday, I fail. Maybe I fail to work out because I don't have time, or maybe because I woke up late, but I have to get to work, okay? But then, right then and there is where you see that sometimes you fail because of some circumstances that take place in your life. But then, what do you do when you fail? You need to take that into consideration that if you fail to follow through, what is it that you can do in order to, make sure that you don't fall out of that routine that you're trying to create? I was just trying to put that so that you know that you are not perfect. You're going to fail on some days, and some days are going to be harder than some days. But what are you going to do in order to keep that consistency going? Okay, if something happens, what are you going to do to cap that? Because life can happen sometimes, all right? The other thing that I want you to also understand, which is very cool, as much as we talked about, maybe you may fail on some days, and how do you fix that? Let us talk about what if you succeed? How do you reward yourself? In psychology, they always emphasize that when you want your child to behave in a certain way, you need to reinforce that behavior. And to reinforce that behavior means you have to link that behavior with something that is good. For example, if a child does well at school, you have to give that child something that they like in order to reinforce this behavior. They know that if I achieve or if I do good at school, I'm gonna get this. So that keeps them motivated to keep going and be successful at school or get good grades. The same thing applies to every single human being on this earth. That for you to achieve something consistently, you need to also reinforce yourself to understand or to make sure that your brain understands that this is something good. If I do this action, even if it's hard, if I do it, I'll get this good thing. So make sure you find out how can you reward yourself. Sometimes when you talk about rewards, people think of expensive things. Taking yourself out on a date may be expensive for you, it may not be expensive for others, but you need to do something that is good for you, something that you can manage. You don't have to do everything that other people are doing. This can be maybe watching your favorite shows. Maybe that is something that you love to do, as I love Korean dramas. Sometimes when I'll be working consistently for a certain period of time, I'll be taking a break, maybe a 1 hour break, and then I watch an episode. I get, so happy and excited that I want to continue to do that work that I want to do and then get another break. So what I work so hard so that I know that after I'm done with this part, I'll be doing or watching that show that I want. So make sure you find out that thing that makes you happy. Yes, that was insightful for me. I hope it was also insightful for you too. And this is really how you can make this year your year. If you answer those questions well, you have a blueprint to get 2025 to be your best year. So I hope you do that. And if you claim it or if you know that this year is your year, write in the comments and tell me that yes, this is my year. I am going to make it. Or just write, this is my year, because I believe it's your year. I believe it's going to be my year too, right? So that is the end of today's video. It was exciting. If you like content like this, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe so that you can see this type of content consistently, because I'm gonna keep them coming. And yes, press the bell button to get notified whenever I'm posting great videos like this. So yes, I'll see you on my next one.